everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're lacing up and hitting the pavement because we're diving into running frequency.
One of those evergreen questions, right?
Really. It's something I know I think about all the time. How often should I actually be running? Luckily, you guys sent in some awesome advice from Allison Ree-Helms and Raj Hathramani.
Yeah, this is good stuff. They don't just tell you what to do, they give you the tools to figure it out for yourself, which is honestly the most helpful, right?
Absolutely. And you know what really caught my eye right off the bat? They emphasize consistency over perfection.
Which, let's be real, is a breath of fresh air for anyone who's ever felt that pressure to, run a certain number of miles or hit a specific pace every single time.
Right. Like sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes your body's just not feeling it. This advice is all about playing the long game.
Exactly. And that's how you actually build a sustainable running habit, not just burn out after a week of going too hard too fast.
One of the things they do so well is break down all the factors that go into figuring out, your ideal running frequency. Yeah. It's not one size fits all, right?
Oh, absolutely not. There are so many things to consider.
Like what?
Well, think about it. Your goals, for one. Are you training for a marathon? Or just trying to, stay active and get some fresh air a couple of times a week?
Huge difference there, yeah.
Right. And then there's your experience level. Are you a seasoned runner or just starting out? That obviously plays a role. And then what about the rest of your life?
Like work, family, stress levels, all that.
Exactly. They take a really holistic view, which I appreciate.
Me too. Okay, so let's get to the good stuff. The schedules. They actually lay out different options based on how many days a week you want to run.
And that's where it gets really interesting. You start to see how the intensity and the goals change as you go up in frequency.
Okay, walk it through it. What if someone's aiming for, say, 1 or 2 runs a week?
So if you're just trying to stay active, maybe get those endorphins flowing a couple of times, that might be perfect for you. You could do like a short jog around your neighborhood on a Tuesday.
Nice and easy.
And then maybe a longer run in the park on Saturday when you've got more time. It's all about finding what fits into your life.
Okay, what about someone who wants to kick it up a notch? Like 3 days a week.
Now we're talking. This is where you can start incorporating different types of runs,
Oh, like speed work.
Exactly. Maybe a tempo run or some intervals during the week to build up your speed and endurance. Then you could have that longer run on the weekend still.
And then maybe throw in an easy recovery run to help your body bounce back.
Exactly.
Okay, seeing a pattern here. So if you're, say, training for a half marathon, then 4 or 5 days a week seems to be the sweet spot.
Yeah, that gives you enough time to build up your mileage, but also prioritize rest and recovery, which, by the way, is just as important as the running itself. You actually get stronger during those rest days. It's so true. Okay, I have to admit, when I saw the 6 to 7 day a week plan, I kind of gulped.
Yeah, that's serious dedication. That's for runners who are really committed, have been training for a long time, and they're incredibly mindful of recovery.
Because overtraining at that level is no joke.
Oh, absolutely. You risk injuries, you can mess with your immune system, and it can actually hinder your progress rather than help it. Your body needs time to repair and rebuild those muscles.
So say someone's listening to this and thinking, okay, I'm inspired, I want to run more. Any advice on increasing frequency safely?
Allison and Raj have got some great tips for that.
Okay, lay them on us.
First of all, no catch-up runs. It's so tempting, right? If you miss a day, you think, I got to squeeze in an extra one.
Been there.
But listen, honoring those rest days is so important for preventing burnout and injuries. It's all part of that long-term thinking.
I can see how that ties into their whole philosophy, too. It's not just about the physical, it's about the mental side of things, too. Right, exactly. Taking care of yourself as a whole person. And then another thing they emphasize is gradual increases. So instead of jumping from running 3 days a week to 5, maybe you add 1 extra day every couple of weeks.
Baby steps.
Exactly. Give your body time to adjust.
That makes a lot of sense. Oh, and what about that whole thing of maintaining your total mileage as you add days? They mentioned that, right?
Yeah, that's a key one. So let's say you're running 10 miles a week spread over 3 days and you want to bump it up to 4. You wouldn't necessarily increase your mileage right away. You would just spread those 10 miles over 4 days instead.
So you're not drastically increasing the stress on your body.
Right. It's all about easing into it.
So much good advice here. It's really not just about how often you run. It's about finding that frequency that matches your individual needs and goals.
And that you can maintain over time. Because what's the point of pushing yourself so hard that you can't stick with it?
So true. Now, as you head out on your next run, I want you to think about your routine. What's one small change you could make, based on what we've talked about today, to optimize your running frequency?
Maybe it's adding in that extra rest day, or maybe it's gradually increasing your runs by 1 day a week. Just that one little tweak can make a big difference.
And that wraps up our deep dive into running frequency. We'll be back with another deep dive soon. So until then, happy running.